Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop this week, and I've got 9 comics and a trade paperback. Pretty big week this week. But first, let me start off by showing you my top of the printer comics. We got here a Wildcats, number 23, with a cover by Travis Charest, I always called him. But I've heard some people give a French twist to it and say Travis Charest. I don't know. I've heard other pronunciations too. So I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. But this is the Alan Moore era of Wildcats. I like this era. Alan Moore did some good stuff. Travis Charest did some nice drawing on it too. And here's a Gene Day, Master of Kung Fu. What number we've got? 106, with that terrible 10-speed bike thing to ruin the cover. But I love this period of Gene Day and his Master of Kung Fu covers. He did some really nice stuff there. So I had these 2 on the top of the printer all week, looking at them, and I'll put 2 more up now. Let's see what comics I got. Oh, the first top of the pile is The Ends from Bad Idea. Let me check the varnish. Oh yeah, varnish came out nice. Varnish on the front and back. This is the one with my name in it because I did the production on it. I'm in there. I'm not sure what this one is about, but it's David Lapham. You know, I don't actually read these. It's David. The Ends is David and Maria Lapham are the writers. The David Lapham art, and Scorpio Steele helping them out with the inks. Then there's The Fisherman's Wife is the B-side with Richard Pace as the writer, Christopher Mitten on art. So it's like I look at them as I put them together, but I don't actually read them until I get them finished. So I'm not exactly sure what The Ends is about, even though I've seen all these pages and lettering and put them all together and made sure it was going to print right. But I can't tell you what the story is. But after I read it, I can. Then we've got All Against All, number 2 of 5. I like when the miniseries tell you how many issues they're going to be, because that helps me decide if I'm going to get, like, what was that one that came out a while ago? Twig. Ended up being a 5-issue miniseries. I think I couldn't decide if I wanted to put on my pull list or not. I think I bought 2 or 3 issues. If I knew it was only going to be a 5-issue miniseries, I would have put the last 2 on and finished up reading it. But I didn't, so I never bought the last 2. So that helps me decide if I'm going to buy something or not. It's got the Casper Wingard art, which is I'm not even sure how to pronounce his last name either. It's Wijaangard. These guys are all aliens. There's only one. Well, he's not even the last man on Earth. They bred him because when the aliens got to Earth, everyone was gone. The planet was destroyed. So they went about, but they found a genetic bank of stuff. So they started, for their own reasons, making Earth things again, and they got him in like a cage, a diorama, a snow globe he's living in, and so now I think he's out to kick their butts or something. Well, we'll see. I like the first issue. I'm there for all 5. Why not? Let's see what else we got. I got 3 facsimile editions this week. I'm living in the past. The first one, what a terrible reproduction of this cover. The Three Stooges, A Hollywood Laugh. Look, they must have found this online, and it's like a 72 DPI version of it. The inside scans are not great, but look better than that cover. But I've never read. They barely cleaned this up. There's lots of specks in all that color. This is a quick and dirty scan and print job. But I've never seen Three Stooges comics, so I figured I'd give it a look. I bought another Three Stooges facsimile from the American Mythology Productions. They did a better job with the other one. But we'll see. It's fun. Looks like there's Three Stooges backup material, too. Just a fun thing to try. Let's see, what were my other facsimiles? Incredible Hulk number 1. Which got me thinking, because I saw somewhere that they said this is a that they printed a facsimile edition of Incredible Hulk #1 in like 2019 or something. And I'm like, do I have that? I don't know. I want to check my facsimiles because they're all in one box. But I didn't think I bought a facsimile edition of Incredible Hulk #1, but I just may have. But either way, here we go. First issue of the Hulk. He was my favorite superhero when I was a kid. I haven't read the Hulk in years and years and years. I think I stopped reading the Hulk in like 1985 or something. But when I was 10 to 14, he was my favorite. And then the other facsimile edition I got is The Flash. What number is this? 123, The Flash of Two Worlds. This is, I think, the first, meeting of the Golden Age and the Silver Age Flash. New and old Flash at the time. Carmen Infantino. I think I did my friend a recreation of this cover once. Occasionally I've done recreations of old covers just for fun. But you know what? I think I've read this. I'm not 100% sure I've read this, but I recognize that half splash there, so I must have at least looked through it, if not read it, at some point. But I don't remember it. But another facsimile for the facsimile collection. I find it fun to have these facsimiles. Matter of fact, I have to look through my facsimile in the Dollar Book and True Believers box one of these days, just because there's so much stuff in there. Then we've got Dark Ride, issue #4. These are done by the Birthright guys. What are their names? Williamson, Brisson, and Lucas. Joshua Williamson, Andre Brisson, which reminds me, I showed them off on our Friday Night Live show, but I don't think I put them on. I actually bought and got last week off of eBay the first 4 issues of Birthright, which is the other book these guys did. Because though I had the trade paperback of it, I didn't have the first 4 issues as single issues, and I had 5 through the end of Birthright. So I'm like, let me look on eBay, see if I can get, because I've wanted to get them for like the last 10 years since whenever Birthright came out, but I never had. Found them for with shipping was about $5 an issue, so I think it was right around $20 for the 4 issues. I'm like, you know what? Just to fill out my Birthright, cool, ooh, scary hanging ghost. Just to fill out my Birthright collection, I got those 4. But this one is about a horror theme park that was built in conjunction with demons. So now we got the family who runs the theme park dealing with the everyday thing about theme park. Not all of them know that there's demons connected to the place and people are dying, and it's good stuff. A lot of fun. Let's see what else. Speaking of a lot of fun, Time Before Time 19. This one has held up. I've enjoyed this. All 19 issues. Who's doing this one? Rory McConville and Declan Shalvey are writing it. Who's drawing this issue? George Coelho. Is he the guy? Is he the guy who's been doing Gatsby? They've had different artists for this book. I think that name I know from Gatsby. So he must be doing an issue or an arc. But it's a time travel story with these, 2 syndicates that run time travel, and they're both criminal in different times too. They're like 200 years apart. These 2 criminal syndicates that run time travel, and our heroes of the 2 lead characters. Though there's been lots of stories about other characters too. Have run afoul of them and are trying to stay alive. One's trying to find her family. The other guy's trying to stay alive. So it's been. I think I'm the only one I see buying this. But good book. Very good book. Let's see, what else do we have? Grimm #7. This one has been fine. Story of a Grim Reaper. I really like the artwork in this one, too. There's a whole bunch of Grim Reapers after death. Is this a different artwork? No. Flaviano is drawing this one. I think that's who's been drawing it all along. It looks the same. Yeah. And these guys are all Grim Reapers, and this woman, there she is in the front, is our lead character, and she loses her Grim Reaper power. They're like, we can't see Grim Reapers, but they exist in the afterlife, and they sometimes come to our life and take people away, but something has happened to mess that all up. There's some sort of afterlife thing going on. But good stuff. I've been enjoying Grimm. Like I said, I never know if these are continuing or mini or maxi series. This one's on issue 7, so it's on my pull list. I'll keep getting it. On a first issue I tried out today. Black Cloak. Kelly Thompson, Meredith McLaren, and Becca Carey. $5 for like a triple size issue. And I got the nudity cover one, though you can barely tell there's any nudity on it. I just figured for $5 I'll try out this triple size comic. Why not? I don't think I've bought much of... I know Kelly Thompson's name. I know Becca Carey's name. I think Becca Carey's the colorist. Or is she the... Oh, let's see. Letterer, Becca Carey. Art and colors by Meredith McLaren. I don't think I've heard Meredith McLaren's name before, but the art looks all right. I think I read something Pretty Deadly by Kelly Thompson. That was a decent... I think I read like volume 1, but I didn't go into volume 2, so we'll see how this is. I always enjoy a first issue. Let's see, the last thing I got is Lazarus, volume 6. This is... I bought volume 7 a couple weeks ago. This is the one that I used to buy it in individual issues. Then it switched to this quarterly format and these square-bound comics. And I was like, you know what? If you're going to be little square-bound comics, I may as well wait for the trade paperbacks, which of course meant I never bought them. But then I actually read this volume on Hoopla, the library app, and then said to volume 7 happened to be in the shop a few weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I may as well buy volume 7 because I enjoyed volume 6 too much. I mean, I like this. This was one of my favorite comics before they changed format to a format I don't particularly like. So they're like, oh, well, order you volume 6 if you missed that. I was like, sure, order me volume 6. So a couple weeks later, I get volume 6. So now I've read this one, but I think I'm going to read it again physically before I read volume 7. Then I'll be all caught up with Lazarus. Right, now let me show you. I actually finished a big ink drawing. I haven't done one of these in, I think, since May or something. And this one's in a special look. Oh, it's got that bright light on the bottom, so this is washing out. But this side is washing out. I assure you there's lines there. Let me see if I can tilt that. Oh, there's some of the lines. It's weird how, the light. Let's try standing over here. I want to see how it changes. See how that? See how the light changes? When it's in the shadow, we can see the lines over there. But this one's weird for me because it's not quite... It's a face, but not quite a face. I mean, we got a head here. We got clearly shoulders, but maybe eyes in the middle here. But it's like a face without being a face. That's different for me. Since I love drawing faces so much. That's what I draw out most of the time, I would say. So this one's a little unusual, where it's looking at us from the dream world as sort of a dream face that we're looking at, but it's looking at us? Are we looking at it? What are we looking at? Questions I have, but I love pulling images out of my brain that come from who knows where, come from those outside edges of the dream world. So that's what this one is to the max, man. All right, so there you go. Some artwork, some comics, and you guys have a good week out there.